Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for watching those ads. We are into a TvT on Frozen Temple. In the bottom
Never
right... Go ahead.
have I ever seen a TvT in the Olimoleague.
I know, they're so rare. Almost as rare as PvPs. On the bottom right, as the blue Terran, he is ByuN. Should we call him by his team name too, I guess? Experts ByuN. Kinda forgot that was a thing. Yeah.
In the upper left is going to be the red Terran player, the one and only GuMiho.
GuMiho, yay. Yeah, GuMiho, pretty stable name in the Olimoleague. Probably even more stable than ByuN. ByuN kind of came back towards the...
Oh my god, no, it's not go. This
What?
is a clash of religions.
What?
On one hand, you
the
have
Gumi
the
god.
god known as ByuN. And on the other hand, you got the Gumi god himself. This is like watching some epic, like, Clash of the Titans.
We should have... You're saying we should be polytheistic and just believe in more than one god?
Of course.
Oh my god.
By the way,
Oh
so
my gods.
unfortunately, GuMiho was on one of the teams that did disband, so he's no longer going to be with the MVP. I've had my own personal differences with Troya in the past, so I'm really curious to see how things will go for all of them afterwards. But I will say this much, regardless of my opinion of like the leadership of MVP or any of that, all the players were just absolutely fantastic. But GuMiho, obviously one of my most favorites, as I've been in love with him for God knows how long. You had Ryung on the team for not too long either. Another person competing today in the Olimoleague. I wish them all the best, and I hope we don't see a lot of retirements come out of them.
Yeah. I would say that these guys, that's kind of what I was going to bring up, you know, for as long as GuMiho has been playing in our tournaments, but I do think is longer and more consistent than ByuN, because ByuN had his, you know, basically like peace out 6 months deal, where he was still playing, which is what's so amazing about it, but he wasn't participating. These are kind of the players that you would be, on one hand, it wouldn't be because of the situation with Pro League purely, it'd be because they've been in the scene for so effing long, alright? Like, GuMiho's been here since the beginning. That's almost 7 years now, okay? If he wanted to take a break from StarCraft, I wouldn't blame him, but he seems to just purely enjoy the game. So it's like, these would probably be the more consistent guys you'll see in online cups, even if they officially, you know, quote-unquote, retire, because what is retirement to pro gamers, am I right? Nice catch on GuMiho's Reaper after ByuN almost loses hits to the Marine. I also want to note that we have a funny set. This is, I think, the most mirror matchups we've seen, even with all the TvTs. We have one PvP, one TvT, one ZVZ, and then a PvT, thank God, in the very bottom. How the hell did that work out? Olivia, please,
Well,
you're seating.
It kind of guarantees that there won't be a lot of mirror matchups going forward,
Oh my
potentially
gosh.
at least.
Oh my gosh, ByuN is like... I mean, he's not winning, but it's like really scary. If the Reapers get their health back, another Hellion joins actually. This could be really bad for GuMiho. I mean, just the fact that his command center is being stalled out this much is bad, but this is what happens when you get those tiny little wins with similar openers like this. Then of course the person with a slightly faster, slightly more production is going to start winning out entirely. Oh boy, that's crazy. Cyclone's gonna help a lot.
If the command center had actually died, this would have been like borderline GG. But yeah, GuMiho does end up cleaning this up, and hopefully, hopefully gets this back down.
This is like killing queens and like versus Zerg if you.
I would argue it's almost worse though, because like, okay, this puts you behind like your command center, puts you behind an orbital ideally, but ByuN didn't really capitalize much on this, right? Like, this wasn't him getting a big CC behind it. He was still going for that Banshee as the priority. It's now creeping into the main. He's looking for more damage or more kills. So this wasn't like a giant economic lead, and more of like a necessary stall out.
That's true. He did have to do damage with this, but killing the Cyclone ensures that the Banshee at least had like the tiniest bit more lifespan. Like, if the Cyclone was there and then the Viking came up, then that thing probably only gets 1 SCV. The scan could have been dodged out of 2, which is the scariest part, I feel, about not having the combo Cyclone Viking, is that maybe they just leave the scan and force you to scan once more. Luckily for GuMiho, we had the Marines to back him up, and that medevac drop to the Banshee was kind of clutch.
Ooh, nice cloak there too, dodging out one of the hits. Unfortunately, looks like this Banshee will barely go down. Okay, I thought I was going to escape the scan range for a moment there.
Yeah, that was pretty close, but that's what the combo can do. So the Banshee follow-up was not as scary as it could have been after killing that Cyclone, but I definitely think ByuN was thinking about that when he target fired it, as well as just thinking like, oh shit, that's a pretty important unit. Let's try and kill it. But now it's GuMiho's turn to try and do some damage.
Thank you, by the way, to Laser SCQ for the 21-month resub. He says supply drop flies away. Now, this Cyclone gets the lock on. Yeah, ByuN unfortunately going to Shrek GuMiho's one very important defensive unit there. There's a tank up on the high ground. I think the Hellions could have committed if they had been decisive about it, but back at home, perhaps ByuN had to look away. And now this Marine drop, SCVs get pulled into it. That's never a good feeling.
He has to kind of really commit with this attack, then he really doesn't have anything back at home. Ooh, Vikings only help out so much.
If they take out that tank, the defense is on lockdown, but the Banshee has to fly away from the scan. Once again, ByuN cleans up back at home, loses 11 workers, but he might drive off the SCVs from GuMiho's natural, and we're about to see how bad this really gets. By the way, we don't oftentimes have reason to look at the graph mod in a TvT. I think this one is certainly interestingly reflective over the last 30 seconds, especially.
Well, yeah, ByuN lost 11 SCVs, but he's only down 5, and he has the faster third command center already invested into, so I would still say that he gets the better end of that. That looked like it was going to do a lot more damage, though, just because there was, like, only 2 Marines responding.
The other part of this, too, is ByuN isn't down in army supply a lot, like we oftentimes see happen in these sort of situations. You're reaching so deep, you're giving away so much army, you're trying to get that damage done, but he actually comes out of this with more army supply than GuMiho, and that, for me, is what's really impressive. A lot less than the SCV counts, at least when it comes to TvT early game.
Well, let's see if his army is in position, because of course that's the first problem in dealing with drops or pushes of any type. Very positional matchup. GuMiho does have his third finally on the way, but obviously a lot later, and he won't have as quick as triple SCV production, because they still both need about 20 more SCVs. The Viking control actually will go to ByuN if he micros. Oh god, he microed totally not correctly, and actually has an even Viking count now with even damage done on him. So he has to give up position. That's kind of unfortunate. This means that his third command center won't be building SCVs potentially, and it will be lifted off. He's actually going to try and save it before that happens. He does focus fire with the Vikings this time, so we'll in the air war. A tank drop is kind of weird to see all alone like this. Kind of works. SCVs go. It stops a mule from mining, so hey, oh, and a big shot right there. ByuN stops paying attention. Finally responds to it, but one tank drop did quite a bit of work. GuMiho's up 7 SCVs and his third CC's done.
Yeah, ByuN not exactly leading the charge in the game, but this is also where we see a lot of TvTs. I think I want to, how to phrase, like, kind of become stale for a small amount of time. Like, what's going to end up happening is, like, they both wait for a little bit. There might be still one drop that goes off here and there. But for the most part, it's not going to be focusing on getting their production up. You know, they're both got the third CCs. Yeah, they'll be building SCVs, but I don't think anyone's going to be reaching too deep for anything anytime soon. That's where you need, like, the format of ice. You need a couple of tanks out. You can't really push without those.
And he would like to have Sim at this point, too. Like, after the initial early game shenanigans go down 1 to 2 bases, you get a third base, it's about 9 minutes into the game, you're going to have to start thinking about stim timings, and how quick you think you're getting yours compared to your opponents.
It's like a cooling period, I think is the best way to probably phrase that.
Yeah, everyone cool off, man. So GuMiho's behind a good 50 seconds even on stim. He's like, it's 30 seconds now, and combat shield's already on the way for ByuN. If they're both in this period, just like we're both waiting for our upgrades, that probably won't affect the game, as they are both pretty well tied on their literal, like, 1-1 upgrades. I wish there's a different word for that, so we don't have to specify every single time that happens. I guess...
Literal?
No, like, unit upgrades compared to...
I know.
What would have been a different word for it?
Advantage? Weapon advantage?
No, like, literal different word for combat shield upgrade compared to a +1 upgrade. Is there a word that can differentiate the two?
Well, that's why I would say, like, armor advantage versus combat shields or something. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. It's too early in the morning. You kidding me? It's 4:23 in the AM!
Okay, my bad, but you're right. Probably just specifying the upgrade advantage. Anyway, so combat shields is done. And ByuN is pushing out because, of course, everything's done for him. 1-1, stam, combat shields. Regardless of GuMiho's timings, he knows he is ready to attack. And actually, GuMiho going to be completely caught off guard here. Only gets one shot off. A couple of Marines. Not even that scary, really. So he just has to reposition his tanks. And GuMiho is pulling back with his army, not taking the base trade.
So ByuN going to be able to possibly knock down his command center. Both players have tanks in the air. This makes it a little bit harrowing to fight. He could at least get the sensor tower on the way out. That's a lot of gas and a lot of minerals. No cancel there for poor GuMiho. Command center might not be going down, but this was an interesting fight for ByuN, who I will argue shouldn't have got as much damage done as he did.
That was really a lack of a Marine off to the right side, top side, whatever you want to call it. Like where ByuN has a Marine right here. GuMiho probably should have had it here, or I guess here actually. Pretty clever positioning.
Down though.
Yeah, GuMiho certainly took a lot of damage, and what sucks is that even though it looked like he had the bigger army pushing ByuN back like that, the army supply is still in favor of ByuN, really. So GuMiho open for a counterattack, do some serious damage. It might still be able to. Like, the same problem could happen for ByuN, who has no scouting off to the left side, but it's actually going through the middle here, where there's... This isn't really a scouting force, seems like a misrally, but it's still going to be able to scout, so hey. Thank you to Dots KTML for the 8-month resub. Pineapple said, "You want a pizza, me?" Oh, you. The pizza last night, by the way, was so... Oh, why didn't I have pizza? Why didn't I have cold pizza this morning? I made a mistake, Freshkin.
You should have saved some, you silly Billy.
No, I have some. I just forgot that I had it.
Oh, well then, yeah, you are just the dummy, I guess. I don't know what to say about that zombie grub. I'm judging you pretty harshly
so
at the moment.
Yeah, I would too. Damn. Oh well. So ByuN has about 20 army supply lead. That's pretty good. But it's going to be hard to take advantage of that in TvT, where a lot of the time position trumps upgrades or just a general army supply. When you have like a 50 army supply lead, that's probably when you can just kind of stim in to win. Even then, though, if they have a lot of tanks, that's still questionable. And ByuN has currently just really split up his army. So you got supply over here, you got, once again, just a handful of Marines here, and still no scouting off to the left side. But he has a feeling and scans exactly where the army is, so kudos to that. That was a really perfect scan. And we'll be able to defend his 4th base. So bold as to even put it on location, despite knowing the army's coming. That's bold. I don't know if he should have given up the tank position like he did. He does cancel his command center. Vikings get in here, but they might just get picked off. This raindrop not really working out here, and the Vikings do all die.
Lots of action going around the map, to say the least. This drop on the mains is going to say really important for ByuN. If he starts picking off these tech labs more than the barracks, more than the factories, that's when GuMiho's going to lose his production. And we all know, Terran, no matter what the matchup is, once you lose your production, you're in a lot of trouble.
I was going to say, GuMiho had Marines, but they're not supported by medevacs. They come disjointed, and everything is cleaned up.
Yeah,
and
that was a messy engagement for GuMiho.
He's just GG? Oh, wow.
This did not start off looking like this would be a ByuN victory, but god damn it, ByuN, you're so good at StarCraft.
Yeah. You get that lead, but then GuMiho kind of brought it back to an even state, and GuMiho did lose SCVs on that 3rd base. He still was... He wasn't supposed to have ended the game in like 30 seconds. It really was the 2 medevacs being unable to get cleaned up, and his inability to push forward on the attack.
You know what's great about my webcam not being on today?
What's that?
I can eat this banana as sexy as I want.
When you really think about it, no one eats a banana that sexily. Like, not on purpose. Or an accident, anyway. Like, you eat a banana. It's, I don't know, man.
If you could see me right now, Zombie Grub, you'd be proven wrong.
But are you trying to eat it sexy-like?
That's just how I naturally eat a
I
banana.
don't think that's true. I don't think anyone naturally eats a banana that's sexy. Whatever, man. He jokes on it, dies.
Have you ever seen Clark Kent
in StarCraft 2 casting?
Have you ever seen Clark Kent and Superman in the same room at the same time?
No.
Have you ever seen me eat a banana?
I want to say yes. I also want to say that ByuN and GuMiho started the game without us.
Did they?
Well, I'm not getting an invite, and they're in a game.
I mean, they should know better.
They should know better. We're angry and disappointed.
No, they're in a lobby. I just asked them for an invite.
Okay, good.
Hakuna those tatas, girl.
Look, okay, StarCraft 2 is very inconsistent for when they put lobby and in-game. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, my point was, before, you've not seen me eat a banana, I'm pretty sure. But even though you've never seen Clark Kent and Superman in the same room at the same time, you know that it's the same person. Same way that you've never seen me eat a banana, you know that I eat it sexy.
I don't...
Riff logic.
And I'm pretty sure I've seen you eat a banana before, but...
Where would you have seen me eat a banana before? Like, I'm always the one who's your camera, you never have mine. What breakfast?
We've eaten breakfast at, like, hotels together, or, like, IHOP.
You think I eat fruit on a vacation? Are you kidding me? Hello? Wow, poor naive zombie.
Bananas are really good.
They are. I fucking love bananas. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game number 2, and it might actually be underfoot a little bit quicker than we expect. He is staying in his base presently. In the bottom left side, we got the red Terran player, GuMiho.
And cutting workers. In the bottom right, as the blue Terran, he's ByuN.
The first thing to note about this, by the way, even more than the SCV actually moving across the map, supply depot placement right off the bat. Right next to the mineral line, trying to save as much money as possible. GuMiho does the same thing, but obviously not proxying. So, kind of funny to see nobody's going to have an actual wall for the front of their base.
Yeah, that could be a problem. It is a problem, actually. Where New Gettysburg does not have the most ideal setup locations, the ideal number of locations for Reapers to jump up on. You know, blocking out one of them can sometimes be a big deal, but now they're gonna have not just this ledge and this ledge off to the right, but they're also going to just straight up be able to get up the ramp. So as GuMiho starts to try and defend and, like, you know, position his units in locations he hopes to find the Reapers, it'll just be that, like, tiny bit more difficult. And I guess he's gonna open up with a Reaper, as most Terran openers do. The question is, will he be able to see this in time before he builds a reactor? And that's, I think, kind of up to ByuN, because he could send the first Reaper in, and that'd be just, like, a little too soon to be kosher, but, you know, he could also wait for 2 Reapers, and he would just have no idea.
I think catching GuMiho with his pants down is worth a lot more, to be honest. I mean, you got New Gettysburg, you come into this expecting, like, a giant macro game, and that's probably why ByuN's doing this. Like, he's playing against the expectations of GuMiho, but... Oh, it's gonna be like GuMiho at this rate.
Well, if GuMiho gets a second Reaper, this could not be the worst thing in the world, and it... Come on, buddy, come on. Okay, scouts what it is. So, that was actually on purpose. He scouts the common location of a proxy, so then he can not build a reactor, which he had enough gas to, and he built it automatically. That's pretty cool. This does not mean that he's, like, safe from, you know, from now on, but it means he's gonna have a bit better of a chance to hold. There's so many Reapers from ByuN, though. He's gonna have 4 by the time.
Look at that. I mean, the
2.
SCV damage here is seriously almost unforgivable. So many workers picked off. 8 dead. GG. Wow. All right, that sends ByuN to the semifinals, where he's gonna face off against either Stats or Super in a TvP. Bottom side of the bracket, Lucira and Leonard, 2 of the best Zerg players you can think of playing against one another for a semifinal slot. They'll play against either Ryung or Patience, but of course, type exclamation mark brackets in chat and look for yourselves, guys. Keep an eye on those brackets. Quick reminder, exclamation mark giveaway. Click on that link. It'll take 2 clicks. You'll get some free entries for a chance to win some game card codes worth €10. That's, I guess... small commercial break. If we find ourselves with some downtime, we may reprise the whole Pro League discussion. Take it a little bit further, but we are going to go to commercials, and we'll see you guys soon.
Actually, real quick, you can go to twitch.tv/Olimoleague to catch one of the other series going on. Not sure which one they're covering, but you can. You can see their live studio as well. Fancy pants. Now we're going to go to a break.